Hello, this is my first ever actual Valorant video, and in this video I'm going to show you where to put your chamber trips to get the most value out of them on every map. I'm going to be going in alphabetical order from Ascent to Bind, etc., but I'm not going to be covering Split because it's not in the game. I hope they bring back Split because it was my favorite map. Starting off with A side on Ascent, I like to wait for Barrier to drop and put my trip Catwalk. If I'm gonna opt out tiles, then I'll usually go behind me and then place a trip main just to catch off any lurkers because teammates aren't always the most reliable to hold your flank. For the other side, I usually place trip mid and I place it in front of trash can. I don't like placing it right here or on the other side is because if they're mid, they can shoot it and you don't know if they're actually fully committing on the push mid. But if you put it right there and they get hit, then you know for a fact that they're pushing out mid. To hold flank while pushing B, I like to put my trip stairs, or you could turn around and put it on top of this little hut thing and it's covered by the sign so no one can see it. It's pretty broken. Flank on A, I like to put my trip behind these chairs because when someone's flanking, they can't even see it, so they're definitely going to get hit by it. Coming over to bind, I like to wait for barrier to drop and I like to push out and put my trip in that corner in showers because now you don't need a man holding showers. It's covered for you, but if someone is playing showers and you want one that holds sight, you could put it right below these stairs. For the other side, again, I like to wait for barrier to drop, push out, and put my trip right there so no one needs to hold long. But another great spot is putting it right below where they jump out of hookah because no one is going to jump out of hookah and immediately aim down to break it. They're exposing themselves to all of sight and you could get a free kill basically. Everyone and their mom knows the best trip spot to hold your flank on bind is right here on these stairs because it covers both A and B flank, but you don't want to put it here every single time in case they have like a jet or an omen that could smoke it off and run past it. So you might want to move it like right here, or you could run over to the other side and put it right here depending on which side you're going. Now on Breeze, I stick to the default trip spot. I don't wait for barrier to drop to put it out because if they open door, you're gonna know that they're halls, but right there, you're gonna know if they push halls. So that's a great trip spot. For mid, wait for barrier to drop and then run out, put your trip right there. It's a great spot to hold mid. B site to hold mid, I wait for barrier to drop and I put my trip right behind that big ass block. Or if you want one that holds sight, you could put it on top of this little tower right here. To hold flank for the B push, I like to put my trip on this cannon. It's a little fidgety sometimes, so there we go. It's a great spot because they can't see it at all while they're pushing up. But if you're not planning on sending anyone elbow, just put your trip right here to hold that flank and the elbow flank. To hold flank on the A push, I like to put trip behind this wall. But if you're not sending anyone halls, you could put your trip right here to cover both the flanks. On A defense, I always just put my trip right here. It's a great trip because it gives you information whether or not they're a dish, which is what's important. If you want a trip to hold sight, put it on top of the boxes right here. To hold arcade slash tower, put your trip behind these boxes right here. And if you want a trip that's gonna hold B main, you could put your trip on top of this big box right here. The best trips to hold your flank is on top of this pipe. It's a little fidgety, sometimes it won't work, you have to keep left clicking, but as you can see they can't see it at all. You got to make sure you're standing on top of this piece of metal though for it to work. If you're pushing arcade or drop, just put the trip behind you depending on where you're going. On Haven defense, I wait for barrier to drop and I put it right there because there's not usually a person holding B, but if there is, I usually just stick to default trip, which is where you put it right in this corner and garage. For watching your flank, you could put it in this patch of grass because it's really hard to see, but if you plan on going C, then you could come over to this little pot and you could put it in here. It's pretty well hidden. For icebox on defense, I stick to the default trip, which is in kitchen, because the information it gives you is very important. Whether you're pushing A or B, I always put the trips behind this little ramp, or you could put it behind these cans. But if you're pushing B, just do the same thing, put it on the other side of the ramp, or put it behind this little box. On Pearl, I stick to the default trip, which is right here, so no one has to hold B link. To hold flank pushing A, you could put it right here where the octopus is, or you could put it behind this little wall right here. To hold B side flank, you could put it right here, or you could put it on top of these 3 barrels, because they're not going to realize it's there until they fully push out. Thanks for watching the video to the end. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe. I plan on posting a lot more Valorant videos. I also stream on Twitch a lot, and I post a lot on TikTok, so make sure you follow me there too. Links are in the description.